So let's find the distance between two given points. So first of all, we have this first point, so it was something like x1, y1, and we have another point which is x2 and y2. Okay, awesome. So what we have to do is to apply some formula, some rule that we found out previously, and it goes like this. So the distance between 2 points equals to square root, so SQLite of x1, okay, x1 minus x2, all of that in the power of 2, plus, right, y1 minus y2 in square root, and all of this going to be under this square root in a power of 2, okay, and all of the result is going to be applied a square root. So let's first of all just create all of these values. So let's go with a floating point type. So shall we? So float x1, y1, x2, y2, okay? And now simply read the values from the user. So there are a couple of approaches to read all of these values. Let's use the most obvious one, okay? So just printf, enter x1, okay, and then read it using the scanf function, %f, and store it inside of variable x1. And now simply copy these two lines over and over again for all of our variables. So x1, it will be x2, or maybe let's use here now, let's use y1, x2, y2, and here also y2. Okay, so we are going to read x1, y1, x2, and y2. And once we are done reading this information, there are also a couple of approaches, but what we are going to do now is to simply just include a new library that contains a lot of mathematical operations. So we are going to use here include math.h, right? We said previously that we are including in most of our programs in this course the standard input-output library, okay? The stdlib, we will talk about it, but I'm not sure that it will be in this course or in the more advanced course. But basically, the stdio is the standard input-output, which contains functions such as printf and scanf and so on, some functions that refer to input and output operations. And now what we have to do is simply to print the distance. So let's create additional variable. Let's call this variable float distance. And distance will be equal to what? Distance will be equal to SQRT. You can see that this function, okay, this is kind of function, it applies a square root on a given number inside of this parentheses. So that's something that the math.h gives us. So SQRT, and here we will specify, let's say that we even do not know exactly what is the specification of taking some value and applying a power of 2 on it. So we will simply go like this, x1 minus x2, and multiply it by the same, x1 minus x2, right? The result will be the same, it's the power of 2. And we take all of that and simply add it like y1 minus y2 multiplied by y1 minus y2. So that's basically the formula for finding the distance in this case. So that's how you find the distance. The SQRT is a mathematical operation that exists in this math.h library. So that's awesome. And now all that remains to do is to print the result to the screen. So simply take the following printf command and the distance between the points, okay, so let's say between the points here, let's use a very descriptive message, %f, let's just limit it to be like 0.2 and 0.2, okay, so the distance between the points, Okay, that's the first point. And the second point, which is also going to be represented like this, okay? So percentage point to f. So that's the distance, that's the point, is, and now we are going to specify the distance itself, which is also going to be of a floating point type. So that's how it should be done. And now here we are going to specify the exact values. So for the first percentage f, it's x1, and the second one is y1, x2, y2. Okay, so we covered both of these points. And finally, we have also to specify the distance, which is distance. Okay, so we found it out here. We calculated it on line 27. Use a semicolon at the end, and basically, I think that we are ready to build and run it. So let's go build and run. And we have a problem here. Okay, we forgot these parentheses. Okay, so yeah, so build and run it. So enter x1. Let's make it, I don't know, maybe let's go with 1, and y1 will be equal to, let's say, just for simple calculation, 3. And now let's use here x2 as 4, and this one is 7, for example. Okay, so we will get here that both of the points are 1 and 3, 4 and 7, and the distance is 5, because the difference between 4 and 1 is 3 in the square of 2 plus 4 in the square of 2, each it will be 9 plus 16, which is a total of 25, and the final result is the square root on 25, which is a total of 5. But basically, that's how you find the distance between given two numbers. Let's go like 1, 2, 3, and here we use 3 and 6. So this will be the next distance between these given 2 points, and so on. You may also use different values, different numbers to calculate any distance. Probably if you are using it in math classes in your college or something like that, feel free to write programs that may calculate the results for you. Okay, of course, you may do it using some calculator, but since you're a programmer and a future developer, I think that it will be a good practice for you to give it a shot in C programming. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Vlad Budnitsky. This is Alpha Tech, and I think we covered a lot, really a lot of exercises. So do me a favor, leave some review. Hopefully it will be good. If not, let me know what should be improved for next videos. And until next time, have a great day and keep on positive vibes. I'll see you then.